Hello folks, hope you're doing well. So, yeah. Well, today I rejoined the gym, the Moray Leisure Centre. Yeah. Went in there, used the gym, used the sauna area, and then the manager came and wanted to talk to me. The manager of the leisure centre, the highest person there. And he said, I want you to get dressed and meet me at the reception. I said, why? He said, because I want to talk to you. I said, okay, talk to me here. He said, no, I want to talk to you at reception. I said, excuse me, there's people in the reception area, isn't there? He said, well, yeah. I said, well, it's the same as here. So therefore, if you want to talk to me here. He said, no, I've said I want to talk to you at the reception area. Go and get dressed. I'm going to come back in 5 minutes. If you're not dressed, then I'm going to have a go at you, basically. Okay. And I said, well, therefore, I don't want to talk to you anyway. I said, I'm going to get dressed and I'm just going to walk out. I've got no interest in talking to you. Well, got dressed. As I was actually coming out to get my stuff, he was hanging around in the area again. Yeah, waiting for me. So anyway, went up there. And he was waiting in reception. And he pulled me over to an area which, okay, it was sort of secluded, but not really, because anyone coming in or leaving would have heard some of the conversation anyway, so it would have been no different in the sauna area than it was the reception area anyway. But he said, we're refunding your membership because there were complaints about you in the past, and at that time you cancelled your membership because of the complaints. I said no. I said I cancelled the membership because I was paying by direct debit, and the finances weren't there at that time. I said, but also, after the complaint, I was still coming to the gym, and you didn't actually come and see me and say you're banned, did you? He went, well, no, because you cancelled your membership. Not straight away, I didn't, no. Anyway, he said, so we're cancelling your membership because of that. I was like, excuse me? You're doing what? Because people have been offended by something I've said and made complaints, which they do. And one of the situations was, during COVID, in the area where people eat, they had gym stuff there at that time, because obviously COVID. And there was only 2 people allowed to be in the area, and there was me and a woman. And I was talking to a woman about training, and what she was doing, training. And obviously I said something that offended her. But rather than talk to me about it, she continued her training, finished and left. And then complained. This was a grown woman. Right? So when the manager then spoke to me about it, he said, look, I understand. He didn't say anything out of order, but as she's complained, I need to speak to you. That's one of the complaints they're using to ban me. Right? I don't even know if there was any other complaints. I can't remember. I can remember him speaking to me about that, but nothing else. Not him speaking to me about something else, no. There was another issue in the sauna where, I was going to put some smelly stuff on the coals. And one bloke said, oh no, you can't do that. And I said, why? He said, well, my father is allergic to it. I said, how do you know? You don't even know what I'm using. He said, it doesn't matter. He's allergic to it, so you can't do it. I said, okay. Obviously, it's not going to hurt him, but okay. I didn't put it on. But they still complained. So the staff come and saw me about it, and I said, excuse me, did they say I put that stuff on the coals? They said, well, no. They didn't say you put the stuff on the coals. I said, well, because I didn't. All I did was question why they're saying no. Which, come on. So they probably counted that as another one at the time. Because the way he sees it is, well, customers have said that they were distressed. But again, okay, this is the same place that when that Gareth, the bloke that I used to drive home, and I drove him to hospital when he had a fit one night, and stayed at the hospital with him, or stayed in the area to take him home again for about an hour or two before I knew, okay, he's going to be there for a long time, so I just went home. Yeah. When he was having a fit, the woman, Vanessa, who does weight stuff in contests and that sort of stuff, okay, powerlifting, that sort of crap, she was supposed to be caring about him because he had a fit and he was whacking his head on the floor, and she wasn't even looking at him. She had her back against him, basically. She wasn't even looking at him at all. And when the ambulance person was there and leaving, I said to that person, yeah, the staff here are rubbish. They didn't really care about him at all. They weren't even looking at him when he was banging his head on the floor. I tried to help, but they said, oh, it's our job to do it. Then do it. Next day I was there, she really had a go at me for saying that, right? She was working. She was employed by the centre at that time to do the job. She was wearing the t-shirt of the centre at that time, screaming at the customer. Right? Screaming at the customer in front of all the other customers. Crazy. Well, because, okay, if you want to ban me for causing distress, that's okay, but then sack her, because in any other job, she'd be sacked. Yeah, I did tell the people above her what she did, because, she didn't say sorry. If she said sorry, I shouldn't have done that, I would say, okay, don't worry. But she didn't say sorry. She was walking around like she was right to do that. So I thought, okay, I have to do something about it, because she would do it again to someone else or me again in the future, because she thinks she's so big. And basically she was also telling people that she knocked a man out. She hit a man and knocked him out. And she thought that was really, really funny. Excuse me? You're telling people who are members of that centre that you love hitting men and knocking them down and knocking them out. Really? I've never met anyone so least suitable to a job. Really. But in that place, people love her because, when she's working, she dances around to the music and she laughs and jokes with the customers. So the customers sort of like her. So that's why they're not getting rid of her. Although they should by her actions. But again, if by my actions I should be banned, that's why she should be sacked for doing that. Obviously. I don't care if she's sacked or not. But if they say I could be banned for, saying something to someone that offends them, excuse me, what she did was worse. And she works there. I don't work there. Okay, if I was working there and, people who are paying to use the stuff there said, oh, I offended them by what I said, okay, then ban me and sack me. That's fine, I understand that. If I work there. But as a customer, you think you can ban customers rather than, sack staff who are doing worse than that. Okay. So why, I don't know. And I understand from their point of view, although I don't really, because they've not really told me what I'd done apart from the lady years ago. Well, as I say, in the area, yeah, we were talking about training, and she got offended, and yeah, okay. Now, normally speaking, for me, if I get offended by what someone says, I'll speak to that person about it. I say, I didn't really like what you said. I thought that was out of order. I'd say that quite happily, and because, you know, I think the other person is old enough to deal with that. If that person is an adult. But with people now, they basically say, oh, can I speak to your manager? They want to complain. I've never done that. Never done that at all. I did complain about that woman, Vanessa, but obviously because she didn't say she was wrong. She thought she was right. And okay. Well, she wasn't. And also, you know, the person who was having the fit is supposed to be one of her friends. So therefore, if you don't care for that person, do you care for anyone? That person is supposed to be your friend. You didn't care for him at all. But yeah, I don't care for that person anyway now, because he's a nasty bloke basically. But okay, if he's having a fit, he's supposed to be my friend. Then at least I will put something under his head. That's what I was doing before when he had fits. And I was taking him home after. She could have done that on that day. Did she? No. Again, I think actually I took him home on that day. Probably. Yeah. But as I say, why God wants that to happen, I don't know. I have no idea. So there you go. It is what it is. So yeah. So I don't know. I don't really care. I got a free day of sauna and all that. And to be honest, even that sauna area, they painted the area dark grey. It's so depressing. It's horrible. I mean, all the area. The sauna, the other areas, and the walls as well. Yeah, dark grey. Ugh. It's not good at all. It looks really, really bad. Why did they do that? I don't know. Why did they choose that colour? I have no idea. Because in a sauna area, normally it's about relaxing, not depression. So, anyway, there you go. I'll speak to you later.